I truly believe that the reason why the world is going through what it's currently going through, because we're being divinely guided as a civilization and as a collective to start doing the inner work that is causing all this chaos on the planet. And please understand, you may be one person and you may look at the world like it's huge and I'm tiny. How can I contribute? How do I add to it? You do every single day with your existence, with your energy, with your thoughts, with your emotions, with how you process things in this lifetime. And since we are all part of this divine plan, I feel that the reason why we have to do all of this inner work, because we really haven't understood how to truly heal ourselves in order to heal this planet. And I feel that there's not enough people in the spiritual community talking about this topic. Don't get me wrong, I do believe in manifestation. I do believe in, good things happen. But the thing is, the reason why majority of people can't manifest and the reason why majority of people can't even cultivate happiness within themselves is because they haven't done the inner work to truly heal. And this is where we're going to be talking about today is healing is in shadow work. It is in shadow work. And if you don't know what shadow work is, we're going to dive into the depths and understanding the concept of healing doesn't come from trying to fake it till you make it. Healing comes from being honest with self and actually dissolving what is not true about you.
Let's get lost.
What is going on, you beautiful souls? So happy to have you here and happy Friday. Just happy existence. Let's just put it that way. So I'm hoping you guys are intentionally having a blissful day so far and you set the intention to do so. And if you're not, well, that's okay. I'm glad that you're here because we're going to get to the root reason of why that is always happening. The consistent route. But other than that, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Brittany Fontanez, and what I do on this channel, I speak about spirituality with compassion, emotional awareness with love. I do guided readings for each zodiac sign, and I talk about things that need to be talked about that aren't talked about because I feel it's our divine right to know more than what we have been told. Now, everything I'm going to share with you, beautiful beings, please understand, it is not the only way and it's not the right way. This is just my experience of how I understand how to truly heal self. And I believe we have the capability to do that, to change, to create the life that we deserve within our hearts, not what society predicts and perceives us to be. So please take what resonates, but understand everything I'm sharing with you is really part of the spiritual journey. I feel there's not enough people talking about this in the spiritual community. It's all about people trying to manifest, trying to create, trying to have good moments in life. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, the reason why majority of people aren't living the lifestyle that they don't want to live, meaning I confuse myself. The reason why people are not living the life that they want to live, it is because they haven't done the inner work to understand what is preventing their growth, what is preventing their happiness. And like I said, you guys, this is not the only right way. This is not the right way. This is not the only way. This is just my experience. And I'm currently actually deciding to go on a 15-day cleanse and detox just to really purge out my body, and I'm doing shadow work in the process. And this is where we're going to dive into what the fuck is shadow work. Well, the first thing I want to explain to you is that since I've been trying to be more disciplined and really show up for the world, really show up on my mission, I was thinking today, what am I going to talk about? And I wanted to talk about pain. But then I was on Instagram today and one of my mentors, my spiritual advisors, posted something and I was like, that is it. That is what I want to talk about. My personal experience with shadow work itself. Now, please understand that there is no such thing as spirituality without shadow work. People think spirituality is a niche. They think it's a goody two-shoes thing, or becoming a saint, like doing yoga or doing meditations are spiritual. Don't get me wrong, they are. But spirituality, you ever heard that saying? That people who believe in religion are scared of hell, But people who believe in spirituality have been to hell. That's the whole point, you guys. Spirituality is about accepting all parts of yourself, the parts you don't even like. But those are the parts that make up the rest of who you are. Hence, when you go into the sun and you see your shadow, which I like to call the silhouette, it's a part of who you are, the part that people don't see, the part that really makes up who you are. And please understand, the shadow is the feminine aspect. And if you did not know, the feminine energy has been suppressed for so many decades because it holds the secrets to life. It holds the secret to connection. And you may think, why only the feminine energy? Because that's where the womb is. And the womb is where life is created. So you picking up what I'm putting down? I hope so. So let's continue, beautiful beings. Now, I feel this needs to be talked about because shadow work is, to me, it's therapy. It's deep-seated therapy. And you guys know how therapy is. You go in and then you talk about how you feel. Don't get me wrong. That's good. But shadow work is not just about how you feel. It's about why you feel the way that you do. Why do you feel like you're not good enough? Why do you feel like you're worthless? Why do you feel like you are limited? Why do you feel like you're not abundant? What makes you feel that you don't deserve to exist? That is the conditioning. That is the beliefs. That is the crevices within our psyche that is ruling our conscious way of being, to the point we don't understand why we act the way that we do. But subconsciously, there is a reason for it. And the feminine energy lives in the subconscious. And the reason why I'm bringing up the feminine energy, because that's where the nurturing, that's where the love comes from. Like a mother. A mother doesn't know, a mother's love is more nurturing than anything. And some of you guys, this is where shadow work has to come in, is because we have grown up dealing with a deck of cards that we didn't want to deal with and that were very painful. And as we grow up, we create self-defense mechanisms to protect ourselves so those pains won't be caused. And sometimes, majority of us don't understand the way that we are because our mind suppresses that trauma. I want you guys to understand that it's not about just the mind. The body picks up experiences and it stores the memory of those experiences. So the process of how shadow work works for me is I realize you have to go through different parts of your body that bring about pain, that bring about certain emotions. Understand, you guys, like I said, the body traps the trauma and the experiences. So when we don't want to feel within our body, when we don't want to feel that pain, what do? We take medication, we drink, we smoke, we have sex. You know, we please ourselves, we do all these things. Nothing wrong with those. Spirituality is, I love spirituality because you create your own beliefs. And that's the whole point of existing. You're here to create your reality, the way that it resonates with your soul. That's why I love spirituality. So understand there's nothing wrong with those things. But here's the thing. There comes a point in time when if you use those things to run away from what it is, your body is trying to signal to you it's ready to release. So for me, the way I do shadow work personally is that I go through different parts of my body. What pain is in my body? What tension is in my body? For example, you guys, the sacral chakra, that's where the womb is. That's above your root chakra. And that's between your solar plexus. That is where you have connections with people, with your family, with friends, with this universe, with yourself, with your sexuality and your creativity. That can be blocked through sexual trauma, through lack of trust, because caretakers weren't there, they weren't nurturing you. So it's like that place can hold a lot of tension, a lot of tension, to the point this is why people have stiff hips, is because they're holding a lot in. Now, for example, the shoulders. Now, the shoulders are a great example. A lot of people hunch, a lot of people slouch, is because they're holding on to so much burdens of the past. Like, for example, you see, you guys, I have no shame. I got acne all over my face. It's because I've been doing shadow work a lot lately. But the reason why acne appears on the face is because deep within, deep-seated, rooted within you, you don't accept yourself. The skin is an example of how you feel about yourself. When you don't accept yourself, you will break out. You know what I'm saying? So, and the root chakra, the root chakra, man. That place, your legs, your body, if you understood why you're not good at balancing, or why is it that your legs are always trembling, or you feel anxiety, is because that place is holding a lot of fear, a lot of worry. A lot of fear, a lot of worry. The solar plexus, this place right here, you know where the ribs are. Majority of us, our body, our stomachs hurt and we overeat because we don't want to deal with the process of feeling the guilt and the shame that we have put upon ourselves, or what the outer world has put upon ourselves. So pretty much shadow work is about going within the parts of your body, the parts of your psyche, and really getting into understanding why your body feels this way, why you think this way, why are you holding on to this? And I feel this needs to be shared more, because little did I know, you guys, before I even started my spiritual journey, before I even had my awakening, little did I know I was doing shadow work all my life with myself and with people around me, and I didn't understand why. I always had an interest in understanding people's pains, and I did not know why. And I will always attract people who would be like, you always want to talk about this, you always want to talk about that. But I was like, because you're projecting your pain onto me. You know, when I was in relationships, for a personal story of mine, you know, I always attract people who have a lot of like a high sex drive, to the point that they will always feel on me, want to have sex every single moment. And even when we're finished, they want to go again. And I'm like, bro, like, why? Why do you keep resulting in that? Now, I'm not shunning anyone from having a high sex drive. I mean, I do myself. But the thing is, when you're consistently always thinking that that is the way that's going to bring you comfort, that's really draining your energy and using it in the wrong way. It's because there is stored trauma within you. Now, please understand, you may suppress your emotions and you may think they go away, but they never do. Emotions are energy and emotion. So that means they're a frequency. And each frequency, since we're energy beings, since we're vibration, they hold a lesson, they hold light codes, they hold activations. Now, since energy is supposed to always be fluid, imagine when sadness comes through. That's a frequency. It teaches you a lot. Trust me, it teaches you a lot, you guys. That teaches you a lot. When that sadness creeps in, and it's like rising within you. I don't know why I'm doing this, but it's like rising within you, and you don't want to feel it. So it's like, no, I'm gonna drink it, I'm gonna talk about it, I'm gonna watch TV, I'm gonna go on my phone, I don't want to feel this, I want to feel this. Suppress. Guess what happens? It will sit in your body in any area it feels that it's meant to be in. And here's what it does. Since the energy is fluid, it has to go somewhere. Little do you know that energy will find its way to ripple in areas of your life so it can release itself. But here's the thing. When you don't take care of it yourself and heal it and understand what it's trying to teach you, it will ripple out in toxic ways, you guys. Hence why you probably overdrink, overeat, have too much sex, watch too much porn. You guys, I'm not judging anyone. I still have some of these addictions, and I'm still healing them, and I'm still trying to understand them, because we use these very things to protect ourselves. We think we're protecting ourselves from not feeling, but here's the thing, we're running away. And people think, you ever have that imagination where you're feeling and all of a sudden you feel like something's chasing after you? People will call those their inner demons. Don't demonize your trauma. They're not here to hurt you. The reason why they're chasing after you is because they want to grab onto you and let you know, I'm here. Can you please notice me? I don't belong here, and you don't deserve to feel this way, but I want you to understand me. The ego really does have a good side to it when you allow it to be your servant rather than your ruler. There's a huge difference. So pretty much inner demons, we like to call it, are not your demons. They're your traumas. They're your inner child, literally trying to bring you back home to recognize what you're holding on to that is no longer your burden, that is no longer a part of who you are. So when you can go within your body and start to understand and be in your own frame, because the reason why we all have troubles being present is because we don't want to be in our body, is because that's where the trauma and the memories are. But when we learn to be in our body, when we learn to allow those emotions to come up, when we learn to feel them, then guess what? When we learn to feel that anger, that sadness, that depression, we could finally be mindful and tell ourselves, you know what? This is how I feel. I can't deny it. And guess what? That's where change starts. You can't change anything if you're not aware of it. Like, for example, for me, you guys, I was always chasing relationships, chasing people. I always thought I needed people. I was very codependent. He's probably chasing after a lizard. I was always codependent. And it was to the point I was very desperate to have people around me. And when I did have them around me, I was still even more lonely. I never wanted to accept this fact. And that's why I kept chasing, going on dating apps, chasing people, or trying to hang out with people. And I will always attract toxic people because I had toxicity still within me that I didn't want to face. But when I finally was honest with myself and said, you know what? I am lonely. I feel it. I feel it. You guys, I cried. I think I cried for about a good 2 hours on that. And I felt it. And I allowed my inner self to just let it out. Like when a friend needs your help and you're there for them, emotionally supporting them, that's what you got to do for yourself. That's the whole point of shadow work, is learning how to understand why you feel the way you do and become your own healer so you can allow the good to come in. But you got to create space. But first, in order to create space, you got to feel what's taking up space. You know what I mean? So that's an example for me. When I felt that loneliness and I accepted it and I was like, wow, I really do feel this way. Guess what, you guys? Guess what? It was so exciting because after that, I deleted all the dating apps. I stopped thinking about an ex. I stopped craving having someone by my side. And I started to see myself like, God, I'm such a good person. I love who I am. And that all came from accepting the parts of myself that I thought were bad. Shadow work is all about seeing the parts of yourself that holds that pain, that conditioning that you identify yourself with, and unconditioning it by feeling it and releasing it and learning from it. For example, you guys, before I let you guys go, with sadness, you learn happiness. With anger, you learn peace. With resentment, you learn compassion. With hate, you will learn love. We need the darkness and the light. That's what makes up everything, and that's what makes up who we are. Don't demonize your traumas. Don't be fearful of what you feel. Don't be scared of your fears either. Because your fears are literally just trying to signal to you you're overcoming them. So don't fear your feelings. Don't fear being vulnerable. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to shadow work, you're learning how to love yourself the right way, that you're caretakers and people in your environment couldn't take care of you. And before I let you guys go, I know I'm gonna keep talking, but this is such a big topic. I love talking about stuff like this because I love seeing people happy, genuinely happy, when they can accept themselves and how they truly have felt all their lives and change it to what they want to feel. So for example, you guys, when I was a baby, I remember being in my baby crib and no one was home. No one was home. My mom wasn't home, my aunt wasn't home. I don't know where anyone was, and I was all alone. And I remember this, you guys. I had to relive this so I could heal it. I remember going through the bathroom. I remember going through my mom's room, going in the living room, going to the kitchen. There was no one there, and I was petrified. I was fucking petrified. You know what my crazy little ass did, though? I was in the highest, very first top of the apartment complex, and I found a way to get out of that whole fucking building. Walk up to the street of my babysitter's house with a soaked diaper. You know, it's crazy. My mom ends up getting a phone call when she gets home, and she found out where I am. And she tells me the story like she's proud of it, even though it's really traumatizing for me. She was like, Britt, since that day I knew you always had angels with you. And you guys, that very experience is the reason why I have an abandonment wound. It's the reason why I felt desperate to have people by me, because I didn't have people that loved me. I had people who dictated me. I even had my sister physically abuse me a lot as a child. And it was a lot to take on, to the point that I have a little bit social anxiety. Like when people stand behind me, I get really scared. I get a little bit scared, a little bit petrified, a little bit anxious, because, you know, my sister always used to punch the shit out my back. I'm not talking shit about her. You know, we all got pain. I blame no one. I don't blame anyone for what I've been through, because I've learned how to truly want to forgive, because I deserve my own inner peace. You deserve your own inner peace. So please understand, allow yourself to go through the process of feeling. Don't run away from yourself. Stop abandoning yourself. Shadow work is the process of you not abandoning yourself anymore and accepting the imperfections that make up the wholeness of who you are. That no matter what people say, you have the right to love those parts of yourself. But let me tell you, when you do, you are rewarded with the blessing of being who you are. Ain't that some shit, man? That's the whole goal. So that is the process of shadow work. Spirituality is nothing without shadow work, because it means you're denying the other part of yourself that makes up who you are, that divine made you to be. We need the ego, and we need the higher self. This is how the ego can help us set boundaries and understand our worth, but the higher self can really understand what true unconditional love is, and actually doing it in a right way from self-love and teaching people that. So other than that, my beautiful beings, I really hope this brought clarity and understanding to the fact that being spiritual is not about just high vibing. It's all about being honest with self and actually embodying what makes up who you are from all that you have been through, and having the right to root that in this world and express it in your own unique way, the way divine has designed it to be for you. So other than that, my beautiful beings, I really hope this helps. And if it does, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Other than that, you guys, I love you so much, and I'm sending you guys only love. Please have a blissful day and a weekend, and I'll see you on the next one. Namaste.
Let's get